Hey folks, Chris here from Dirty Rooster Off-Road, and this week we're going to be installing some polycarbonate upper doors on the RS1. The tires definitely throw a lot of stuff into the cab. We're going to be headed down to Hatfield and McCoy's this week, and it's going to be rainy and muddy the whole time. So thought, hey, might as well get some upper doors. I've been looking at a few different options. The one option that's not really easy to find is the UTVZilla option. Most of the options out there are $250, $260, maybe even $300. I didn't really want to spend that on the upper doors. You know, call me cheap, whatever. And I wanted to make sure that it had polycarbonate, because one of the great things about this machine is that from the cockpit you can see those front tires, and that's one of the reasons that I bought this, because if we get into some sketchier areas, then it's easy to see where I'm placing my tires. So I don't want to lose that. So definitely wanted to get polycarbonate. And today what we're going to do is we're going to get these installed. These are the UTVZilla polycarbonate upper doors. That's it. That's all that comes in the kit. Well, not everything. Of course, there's hardware and instructions. Just a few bolts, some captive nuts. They give you a drill bit for the captive nuts, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy install. These come with a protective coating on them. It doesn't look like they have anything etched or stamped into them. It's just plain old plastic. It's fine with me. So without further ado, let's get these things on the RS1. All right, so as you can see here beside me, we got the upper doors installed. Took a little more effort than I thought it would. Nothing extreme, but you know, some lessons learned there. I'm going to walk you around and kind of talk you through what I learned, so that you can avoid any of those same issues that I had. Overall, I think the doors are pretty good. We'll see how they hold up. The price is definitely right. I think they're pretty good quality. They're not 100% compatible with my door bag. We're going to talk about that. But they still work with the door bag, the stock door bag from Polaris. So let's jump into this. I'm going to walk you around. First, let's start with the passenger side. Well, not the passenger side, the driver's right side. So these two bolts get replaced. They give you some heavier nut plates. They're 1/4-20. And you asked me how I know the thread pitch. Well, because we had a little bit of trouble getting the bolt and the nut plate lined up. So we started one cross-threaded, so I had to take them out and re-tap, fix the screw, fix the nut plate, which set us back a little bit, but we didn't get too crazy, so we were able to get them fixed and installed. Up here, you see, this is where you locate and drill a couple holes, and they give you inserts to put into there. So this side, really, it's just 4 screws, really pretty benign, easy install. Of course, it's better. I'll take you to the other side. What I found is it's a lot better to just go ahead and remove this rear quarter, take all the hardware out of this, and just go ahead and pull it off. That way, if any of these clips, you know, from these screws fall down in, it's easy enough to grab them, and you're not trying to fish them out with a magnet. And it also allows you to ensure that you get the 2 nut plates on properly back there. So just remove that, go ahead and take that off. It's only about 6 screws, too easy. So the driver's side, I always say driver's side. There's only a driver in this thing. The left side of the machine, this one was actually really easy as well. Don't have to drill any new holes, but door alignment does become an issue. So another recommendation for this is just go ahead and remove this whole outer skin. It'll just be a whole lot easier. Now you can see I've got the Polaris door bag in here. There are some screws that are holding that together. Of course, you got one in here, you got one in the bottom of this bag. But basically you remove those maybe 6 screws to go ahead and take that outer cover off. And then this gets a whole lot easier, because what they're gonna have you do is put this screw in, this screw, and then there's one back behind there. They all go on with 1/4-20 lock nuts. So trying to get your hand in there with this, with the outer skin still on, nah, no bueno. So just go ahead and remove that. It's gonna be a whole lot easier. One of the things that bothers me a little bit, but not a whole lot, is this, which is almost useless anyway, that Polaris puts on here. This normally gets attached up here. By the time you put this polycarbonate in there, and then you put this on there with that grommet, the door won't shut. It just stacks up too much, and then you can't get this to interface with this. Now, of course, if you threw some washers in under there, then maybe you could do that, but I'm not interested in doing that. This really doesn't do a whole lot anyway. It's normally kind of loose, so I'm just going to tuck this away for now. Might just cut it all the way off, and yeah, not a real big deal there. So when I initially tried to close this, it did not close easily. You can see here they give you a little piece of rubber gasket material because it basically mates up here. When I closed the door initially, you can see that closes pretty nicely. No issues. When I initially did it, without adjusting the hinges back here, there was all kinds of interference up here. It wouldn't close properly. Kind of had to slam it. So one thing that you'll do once you get this all kind of snugged up with these screws, the one that's under here, this one, and this one, only those 3 screws in. Make sure that this is going as aft as possible, so you're pushing it this way. And then once you have it aft as possible, snug those screws down. That'll hold it in place. And then come over here and loosen these two bolts. Close your door and basically adjust this on this pivot point until you get the right clearance out front here. And then you'll be good to go. Once you get that the way you want it, then go ahead and snug these down in here. Then that's pretty much it. Got an opening here for your hands so you can access the release for the door. But that's pretty much it, folks. I'm happy with them. 170 bucks, you really can't beat that. That's $90 to $100 cheaper than everything else. And we'll see how they hold up. Like I said, I definitely wanted to have the clear polycarbonate because I want to be able to see the tires. So you can see here from my point of view in the machine, actually the camera's sitting down a lot lower than than my head is. It's a little difficult to get it to that position, but you can see there that I can see the tire through there, and I can see the tire through this door. Of course, they're going to get muddy, and then I'll lose some of that. But with the mess that's coming up here next week, I definitely wanted to have some protection from the mud. One of the things that I think they could have done better with this is under these screws there's a cavity just like this. So the polycarbonate is sitting flush here, and then it's got this void in behind it. So if you over tighten these screws, you can crack that very easily, and they don't get super tight. I would feel better if I could snug them down a little bit more. So really all UTVZilla has to do is provide us a spacer that will go in behind here between the polycarbonate and the actual fascia for the RS1. And then that'll give us something down, you know, to snug down against. So I may come up with something there myself, you know, when we get back from Hatfields next week or the week after. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit the alerts button. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Until next time, Dirty Roosters out.